Good afternoon. I'm Alex Rodriguez, Vice President Corporate Development for OIII Mining. OIII Mining is a company from the Osisko Group of companies. Osisko being a group that has discovered, developed, built, and operated the Canadian Malartic mine. And we, as OIII, as the third iteration, have an asset that is just 12 kilometers from this particular mine. OIII Mining is built on three main pillars: having assets, having a strong management, and having capital. On the asset side, as I mentioned, we have Marben. This project, we took it from a PEA back in 2020. In 2022, we have just our pre-feasibility study. And this project has 2.5 million ounces on resources and 1.5 million ounces on reserves. Again, this project is being structured in a way that we can really maximize value as we keep moving ahead the project, as we expect production for this specific plan project by 2026. What else do we have at OIII? We are a company that is trading right now at $122 million Canadian dollars. It's a company that has between cash and investments $65 million. So again, if you take that number and the calculation, we're telling that right now our assets are only worth $50 million. But again, as I mentioned, I have a project that is 12 kilometers to Canadian Malartic mine that is worth it as at the PFS level an NPV of $463 million with a $1,700 gold price assumption. What else do we have at OIII? We have a team that has experience building mines, discovering, and taking projects from a discovery to a development stage. And also, one important piece of our story is that we have a really strong ESG commitment. We have the Cologo certification. We're getting every audit process in place, and it's really built in everything we do at the company. Now, just to give you an idea, who is investing right now in OIII? We have a really robust institutional base. We have 25% of institutional investors, naming Franklin Templeton, Merck, Vanek, name the main institutional investors in the mining industry. Osisko Mining is our largest shareholder with 21%. And management, our CEO with his family office owns 6% of the company. The history has been followed by 8 different institutions. We have national banks, ABC, different institutions who are giving us a value in average of $3.60. Now, where we are, and this map is going to be outdated by Wednesday. I'm telling that because right now this map is showing you that Canadian Malartic, the mine here, is a Canadian Malartic partnership. And yes, it was like that because it was owned by Agnico Eagle and Yamana Gold in equal parts. As of Tuesday, when the transaction closes, Agnico Eagle will have 100% ownership of this mine. Canadian Malartic is, as of today, the largest gold mine in Canada, largest gold open pit in Canada. Now, this is taken from their public information, their public disclosure. What is happening with this specific mine that they just bought is that they are running out of ore or their main deposit by 2026 from the open pit. They do have, obviously, a lot of potential underground, and that's coming up afterwards. But they will have infrastructure not being used at its full capacity, specifically the mill. And where we are, Marben is just here, 12 kilometers from Canadian Malartic. What else do we have in this camp? Because this is not only everything. We do have 35,000 hectares in this camp, and you can see that every 2 kilometers you have a mine. Canadian Malartic, Kina from Wesdome, Goldex from Agnico Eagle, Lamac from El Dorado. There is a mine built every 2 kilometers. This is a camp that has been producing over 50 million ounces of gold historically. And this is Quebec, this is Val-d'Or, this is rule of law. You can discover and build mines in this camp. What do we have at Marben? As I mentioned, the economics are quite straightforward. We have really competitive cash costs. We have an AISC of 882. So today we're talking about that we have more or less 1,100 operating margin if we were operating today. We will be producing 161,000 ounces of gold per year over 10 years of life of mine. Our NPV using $1,700 is $463, and our capex, building everything, building a new processing plant, building everything facility that we need to operate the mine, will cost us $435 million. That, again, if we build everything, absolutely everything. Now, this is where the mine is going to be. This is the layout of the mine. As I mentioned, we have 3 deposits, here in Arctic Marban, the processing plant here, the tailings here. This is the design on a standalone basis. Again, the project is quite robust on a standalone basis. Now, let's show you really about the proximity we have and the value and the opportunity here at O3 to make this project even better than it is right now. Marban is located just 8 kilometers from Canadian Malartic if you want to take the railroad. If you want to go through the road that is here as well, it takes you 12 kilometers. We have the power line here. That's why I was mentioning our cash cost is so low, because we have infrastructure in the area. We don't have to get energy. Energy is right there. Now, let's see this view. This is Canadian Malartic. This is the Canadian Malartic mill, and this is the current open pit that, based on Agnico's public information, this mine is going to run out of ore on the open pit by 2026. They will be getting into the underground, the OIII deposit, but that is going to only produce at a rate of 20,000 tons per day. They have today a mill of 60,000 tons per day. So I'm telling you that based on their public information, they have a mill of 60,000. They will only be producing 20,000. So they have an excess capacity of 40. Agnico will have excess capacity available by 2026. When is Marban going to production? It's going Marban to production by late 2026. That's the plan, and we're moving the project ahead with non-stop, ongoing since we started the company. The project is moving ahead to that level. So what happened for us? I believe there is an opportunity here to work together, because we just need 16 from those 40 that they have available. If we're able to work together with them and sort of agreement to toll mill our ore into their mill, our capex will reduce from $435 million to $163. That's the change, the dramatic change on the economics of Marban, because now we don't need to look for a big capital expenditure at the beginning. It's a lower investment, more financeable. And also from the Quebec perspective, we're not going to be disturbing the area more and more, because we don't have to build a whole facility, because we can use what is right now 12 kilometers distance from our project. Now, what happened with the economics of Marban if we're able to really tackle this? What will happen is that the NPV of the project will increase dramatically. The post-tax NPV capex is going to go moving to 3 times. And again, this is everything optionality. But we don't have control of what Agnico can do tomorrow, next day. We can keep having discussions and so on. But what we can do as O3 is keep showing that Marban has more legs to go. There's more ounces here. So we're doing right now a campaign of 30,000 meters, 26,000 meters focusing in Marban to really show that we're able to have more ounces in this project. We know by a fact that for every year that we're able to add into our life of mine, the NPV of the project increases by $60 million. But also we have another project, a little bit more to the east portion. And this is a project that we have called Alpha. It's an advanced exploration project that also has Agnico here. Agnico is just producing from this mine recently. It's the Akasaba West deposit, and we have the extension of it. And again, in this property, we have 1.2 million ounces. Here is El Dorado with Lamac, and Goldex is around this area. So in a nutshell, O3 Mining is a story where we have a project moving to feasibility study for first quarter next year. We're a company that is trading right now at $120 million market cap, only with cash and investments of $65 million. So we're well funded for the year and even more. And again, in a jurisdiction with a specific opportunity to find synergies with partners around our area and find ways to really maximize value for shareholders. Again, you will hear from us. There's going to be a really good pipeline of news flow coming in as we drill in 30,000 meters this year. This is a story that you can follow. You can buy the stock, or you can follow us at the TSX Venture and also the OTCQX. Our ticker is OIII on the TSX Venture and OIIIF on the OTCQX. Thank you.